Welcome to Mind and Intellect Conversations. Today's conversation is one of its kind, very special. We have our guest, our benefactor, Mr. Sridhar Reddy. He is the founder and CEO of Control-S and Cloud4C, a premier institution in data centers and one of the most progressive organizations in India. And I met him many years ago in 2008, I suppose, in a wonderful wellness place in up above Rishikesh, a place called Ananda in the Himalayas. And he attended the sessions, the Vedanta sessions there. And we used to have intense discussions in the lectures, plus over the meals, and as well as in the morning walks. And it looked like we have known each other forever. And he was there for over a week or 10 days, and the discussions I still fondly cherish. And then we continued that friendship when he went back to his hometown and got into the business. And I have only seen his business grow multifold. He's one of the leading data center owners in the world. And it'll be interesting to know the journey as well as how we can improve on ourselves in our pursuit of self-development. So stay tuned. You're going to learn immensely in this. It could be short videos or a longer one. Look into it. Now, stay tuned for this.
Sridhar Reddy is a first-generation entrepreneur and the founder of Control-S and Cloud4C. Under his leadership, Control-S has built Asia's largest rated-4 data center network, with 15 operational centers and a total planned capacity exceeding 1 gigawatt, trusted by over 60 Fortune 500 companies and top global hyperscalers. He also founded Cloud4C, a cloud-managed services leader with 2,000 plus employees across 30 countries, delivering mission-critical solutions for emerging markets. Sridhar actively contributes to business communities through TIE, ASSOCHAM, EO, and YPO, and is passionate about giving back, driving initiatives in education, healthcare, and environmental sustainability.
Welcome, Sridhar Garu.
Thank you, Sreedharanji. Pleasure meeting you again after so many years, and I'm glad to be here today. While you were saying about Ananda, I was just thinking, it is one of those moments in my life where everything seemed dark, and I was going through probably, some of the worst periods of life, both professionally and personally, more so personally, and that led me, to think about Himalayas. I don't even know where I was going, and ended up in Ananda, surprisingly, to my luck. And then I found you. I walked into your first lecture. You were talking about mind and intellect, and captivated me. And then after the class, we went to the to a lunch, and thereafter continued the next 8-9 days. Yeah, amazing experience. I would say that transformed my life, helped me deal with my situations much better. I can't think other way of dealing with the situations around me. Probably have, had I not met you, probably life would have been much different.
It's so nice to hear that, Sridharan Garu. The best part, we both share the same name, and but I seen the changes in you, progressively. Now, from a clean-shaven, with a small mustache, a very typical the Telugu entrepreneur, from now, externally and internally, I find you far more calm, composed, relaxed. I'm sure being an entrepreneur is not that easy. You have challenges every day, but there seems to be a calmness which is wonderful, which is what I wanted you to experience. So the journey has been long and tedious, but the results have been wonderful. So very happy for you.
I would say so. Compared to previously to now, yes, definitely there is there is a big improvement.
Absolutely.
I think a lot more to go as well.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not that I don't feel like I've accomplished significantly in that aspect. Maybe a lot more to go. Yeah.
And the good can become great.
Yes,
that's all I can
absolutely.
say.
Absolutely,
It is.
That's what keeps me interested in continuing even after so many years, to be in touch with you and do some refreshers or a lunch or a dinner, and I find them extremely
Wonderful.
Yeah.
See, I've seen you as a person who's an intense seeker. We could meet once in a way. It could be for 45 minutes. Your concentration has been so intense. That's what I say. You don't even flicker your eyes. You're fully there. And you are like a blotting paper. You absorb more, and that's what it is. So that's the best part. I'm sure so many people require, maybe they are in that journey and may not have found the right person, or they're struggling with it. I wish more people get benefited in that way.
Yeah. No, I remember your first lecture when you said something about why do you get worried, or what makes you angry? Why would you have a sleepless night, right? Something around that.
Right.
I think changed instantly how I live within a week, right? Yeah. You said that when you're worried, that means when you're not able to sleep, that means probably you're anxious, something like that. Right. Yeah, and why are you anxious is because you're waiting for a certain outcome. Probably you're worried that you didn't put in the right effort for the outcome. I think that whole that simple lecture made me think and completely change the way I approach things. That's what probably, your observation that I became calmer. Yes, the results won't change whether it is a big $1 billion deal or deal going south. It doesn't change my day.
Wonderful.
Completely, because I know I've put in my best effort, the possible. I've created, amazing companies with excellent people platform to deliver whatever the best they could. We put in the best effort. Results sometimes come, sometimes doesn't come, right? These days, the whole world has changed. I've seen a lot of deals go through, down south after our benevolent Trump took over, but still nothing changes. Yeah,
correct.
Life goes on. Yeah,
life goes on. In fact, that's how it is. Life is present continuous.
Absolutely.
And it's not past stagnant. Life is present continuous. It's happening in the moment. And as you mentioned, some people, it's not the sleep, it is the mind. The mind, nature of the mind is it produces worries of the past or the anxieties of the future. These two aspects, worries and anxieties, each one is subjected to. Each one suffers from that. If the mind is strong. So if the mind is strong, the worries, anxieties and excitements gives them sleepless nights. I mean, I would have discussed, my guru used to say, when you hit the pillow in 10 seconds, you should fall off to sleep like a baby.
Absolutely.
If you can't, there's something wrong. It's not 10 seconds, it will be maybe 2 minutes or even 5 minutes. You should opt.
No, there are several days I go in 10 seconds.
That's excellent.
Yes.
See,
I don't even remember after my head hit the pillow.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Which means that your intellect is strong enough, it's able to deal with the mind, you're able to bring closure to various thoughts you had. So which is essential. So less worries and anxieties means more concentration. More concentration means more productivity. More productivity gives you the required results. And a strong intellect which you have, that's why you said, even if things doesn't go your way, acceptance is there. Acceptance, which is wonderful. That's why you keep putting in the efforts, and there are so many factors beyond our control.
For me, results are byproducts.
Fantastic.
The journey of the effort that I put in, that is what I enjoy the most. Some, results are just a byproduct.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And incidentally or interestingly, results have been happening in your way. largely for the world.
The moment I changed to a byproduct, I've started getting much bigger byproducts. You see, I changed the mission long ago. I think at the time of inception of Controllers itself, that I will do it for to my satisfaction as a passion to deliver the best, to deliver the most green data centers. I never bothered about how and what's the results of this outcome going to be. So in our company, nobody was given a budget that, okay, you do this work at this cost. We said, do it the best way that we can. Fabulous. And the results will follow. So 15 years later, even now, I don't think we have given serious budget to any service delivery leaders. They have an open budget. They can ask what they want, whatever is needed for that task to be accomplished with the greatest quality, and that goes.
Fabulous.
And actually, it helped the other way around.
Correct.
Right? We turned out to be the most profitable company in the sector. Completely, as compared to many others. Even though we never bothered about what we are our budgets, it just turned out like that because we attracted best of the customers, and they never bothered because they got what they wanted. Right, so it
speaks for itself.
Yes.
See, this is where there's a statement: for fearless virtue bringeth boundless gain.
Sorry, one. Say it again, please.
For fearless virtue brings boundless gain. You had, and number two, be true to yourself. To thine own self be true, says Shakespeare.
Absolutely.
Now, you've been true to yourself. The best quality, that's what the large organizations require at a reasonable price, and it speaks volumes. So I'm glad that the right principles were there from the beginning, and as a result, you are where you are. That's wonderful. I mean, see, the start must be right in your thought process, and you sustained it throughout. You never, in fact, it only enhanced whatever the thought process you had initially. Not only it didn't falter, you enhanced it. How many organizations can claim to, or the leaders can claim to talk this way? We have not given a budget. You got to do it in the best possible way. It's what kind of freedom and interest that a person will have. Very nice to know that, Sridhar garu.
Absolutely. I mean, our customers also see it. That's when we keep them forever with us.
And another thing, you ventured into it when not many were aware. I mean, or not. I mean, in your industry, people are aware. I still remember when you invited me for an event. A lot of CTOs were there, and they were talking about how the data consumption is going to go up immensely. I said, why would I? I said, seriously, it's going to go up, or it has. COVID had proved the data consumption just shot up. Yeah. But in that way, the visionary thought is essential.
I would say we are extremely lucky. Yes, I was excited by the fact that the data and the utility of data centers, from being a website hosting companies to running large-scale enterprise IT systems or banking systems or governments, and that thought excited me, of course. But and I got, I would say, extremely lucky as well. But what helped me as a person? See, many people have entered, right, the business. Only few could make it. I think the essential tools for a founder is, apart from strategic, apart from business development, product knowledge, I think the core pillar is how he thinks about the world, how he conducts his life, how does he think about people, relationships, and how to create that sense of belonging in a company. All of those, I think those are the most critical. One of the key pillars, like his engineering abilities, I think this is the core pillar, and that's what I found in Mind and Intellect, your organization.
Wonderful. You mentioned the right thing. It is the individual has to be worked upon. Their character, their values, their thought process. I keep highlighting, without improving the quality of your thoughts and emotions, nothing in our life improves.
Absolutely. I remember one of your lecture about gratitude, right? But I think it's better you describe.
See, when any individual, one is gratitude. We say is the mother of all virtues. It is. Everyone knows the importance of gratitude, but not many are really grateful. It is. I keep highlighting. It's not just words.
They keep forgetting.
Thank you is an expression of gratitude. I remember once when I visited your office, there was a gratitude wall.
Yes. Yeah, we did a big project.
Correct, gratitude wall. And it was full. That wall, I thought generally, people will say, I'm grateful. But I saw the wall was full. When I say full, means everybody, all your staff writing how grateful they are to the organization, to the team, to the founder. I said, how wonderful. Even if it is gratitude, we experience gratitude when we have these two factors. One, we must be acutely aware of all that we've been receiving from the time we are born till the time we are there. From the mother's support to the nature, oxygen, this blood supply. So many factors are there which we've been provided. We could be in a city where it's very safe and secure. It is infrastructure. So many factors we've been provided from the day we are born till the time we are there in this earth.
Absolutely, but I don't think anybody will be thinking about all of these things that you mentioned, right?
That's right. You're right.
So what happens when they forget? And what does that got to do with their day-to-day struggles?
You're right. Yeah. See, the day-to-day struggles makes them forget the enormous provisions we have been given. Because the mind goes into the immediate desires. They're worried about the traffic jam which they're stuck into, or that some payment has to be made, or the argument they had with the partner, or the difficult meeting they're going to have with their CEO. Their mind focuses into the problems which they are facing, worries and anxieties. That's why people get drained out. They could be sitting in nice fancy offices, air-conditioned places, coffee and tea at any time they want. But why are they mentally drained out? Worries and anxieties. Yeah. So you can't. They may be aware, information may be there, but that doesn't make them grateful. The second aspect I would say, which is important, is I may be aware of various provisions, but there is an inability in me to repay that benevolence. See, our heart starts beating even before we are born in the world.
Yep.
It is just to register a site. Here is Sridhar Garu. A million operation takes place in the retina. The food gets digested. There's so many factors. As children, if we are not taken care, protected, anything can happen to us. We could eat. A child can eat something and it could be detrimental. So many avenues, people, and so much has gone into it. To which we cannot repay the benevolence. That's why they said you can't repay the benevolence of your parents, of the teachers, of nature, of the government. So many factors. You can only develop an attitude of gratitude. That's why we say, all those who attend our lectures, we have this suggestion. When you wake up in the morning, first thing is pranams to Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam. Gratitude to my mother, father.
So that's a structured way of doing it. Make it a habit.
Make it a habit. Yeah. And they say, will it work? You do it consistently.
It does work. Yeah. I practiced it.
Wonderful.
I practiced it. Not in the morning, but before going to bed. Okay, I'm so thankful.
Correct.
Today, right? For...
See, both ways it works.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, be thankful for the day. Yeah. And the beginning of the day, be grateful for the sources. And we're thankful, whatever it is, I survived this day.
Yes.
And why I'm telling you, you're ending the day with a positive note, you're beginning the day in a positive note. And then when you keep doing it, in times of trouble, everyone goes through certain challenges. This gratitude helps. Your memory accesses that gratitude. A person who's very selfish, they are not grateful. Like we keep highlighting, gratitude and disturbance can never coexist. Where there is gratitude, disturbance can be managed. Where there is disturbance, there is a lack of gratitude. So, this is one, Sridhar Garu. Another one which is a very difficult emotion to manage is ingratitude.
Okay.
It is, I wish all leaders, all individuals across the strata learn how to deal with ingratitude. Ingratitude of others and our own ingratitude towards others. It makes the most powerful person weak when they meet the ingratitude of others.
Can you explain that a little bit?
I'll give you an example of Caesar. Julius Caesar was a powerful leader.
Yes.
He won many battles. And people come to kill him. And he pushes them around and he's able to deal with it. The moment he sees Brutus coming with a knife, he says, "You too, Bruti?" Then falls Caesar.
Yeah.
And Brutus kills Caesar.
Yeah.
And in that speech of Mark Antony, he says, it is the ingratitude of Brutus which killed Caesar.
Not so many people.
Not so many. He could have easily handled.
Yeah.
The moment he saw the ingratitude of Brutus, he said he considered him as a son.
Yeah.
And that man, he killed him. So each one of us in our own ways, we may experience others' ingratitude.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we should not expect ingratitude, but with the
don't get killed.
Correct. Don't get killed by ingratitude.
Ingratitude. Correct. I get it. Yeah.
The mind when you use your mind progressively and strengthen the intellect, when it happens, you're protected. You know how to deal with it.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, I've known people, that is the biggest energy vampire, ingratitude. It just sucks in your energy, and you see what happens when they go through it, they lose trust in others.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't suffer from this because I don't even remember what I do for people. So I don't do it expecting something in return. Right. So when I don't remember, some people come and tell me, "Hey, you helped me so and so." I said, "What? When?" Right? Yeah. And then I don't think you're affected by it.
You're following this principle which we discussed many years ago. Express gratitude, but do not expect gratitude.
I remember. Yes.
I tell express your gratitude to one and all, but do not expect gratitude.
Yeah.
Because we'll get disappointed.
Or don't do it something expecting a return. Yeah.
Correct. I'm glad that you have this, this maturity, whereby so much has been done, but no noise is made.
Yeah.
I mean, people get benefit. They will remember. That's wonderful to know. That's wonderful. These are, it looks small, but it is very, very important. See, that's why progressively you become more calmer internally. You may be a go-getter, aggressive externally as a project, but internally it's like on the top of the ocean there is waves, but you go deeper and you are a swimmer. I don't need to explain much. You go deeper and deeper, there's a calmness.
Absolutely.
There's a calmness in it. So that's the whole thing. The more deeper you go into your personality and find the truth, external thing is like a play. Today, you can deal with, and one day it's going to be wonderful, another day a little difficult, third day it went exactly opposite, the fourth day again. This kind of you become like a wonderful actor. I mean, in the sense you do your role as a founder very, very well. That's what founders or leaders of organizations should be. It is we keep telling the mind, the intellect, your physical body, mind, and intellect are your possessions. They belong to you. You are not them. It's like you have a mobile.
Absolutely, yeah.
Your mobile belongs to you. If the mobile falls and the screen is broken, you don't need to be worried. It can be changed.
Absolutely.
The mind belongs to you. We have made the mind the master of our life. That's the problem. It dictates terms to us, whom to relate, what to do. It's your possession. It belongs to you. Why do you make your mind your master? Therefore, Swami Vivekananda highlights, conquer your mind, you'll conquer the world. Fall a prey to your mind, you become a victim of the world.
Absolutely. So well said.
John Milton also says, your mind in its own place can make a hell out of a heaven or a heaven out of a hell.
Amazing.
Heaven and hell, I wish they are geographical locations. Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk could have bought some phenomenal real estate there.
Yeah.
It's not a geographical location. It's a state of mind. Exactly a state of mind. Heaven or hell is a state of mind. It is not a geographical location. Absolutely. If anyone says, "No, I feel very happy," it's like heaven within. Feel very troubled. It's hell within.
Yeah, that brings me to one topic. All the founders struggle with, which I still do. I mean, we addressed it,
right?
But I still go through this. My biggest passion is to create the most harmonious, joyful workplace.
Excellent.
While we are excelling in what we do, while we are, doubling, or taking up projects which are almost impossible and delivering those. I want it to be the most harmonious. People enjoy working with each other. That's the journey that we are in.
Right.
And I'm putting a lot of effort. Whenever I see some issues between the leaders in our company, I would make it, that's a serious matter for me to personally address. Right. And which I've been doing it. Why do you think that this? I'm sure all the founders who are and the business leaders who are watching this will also be, going through this, right?
Right.
What are the best ways to, make it
the workplace? Yeah. Fabulous. First is kudos to you. You're thinking in those ways, and which is very important because the team building, or I wouldn't say team building. The quality of the team will depend on will eventually be the quality of the results. So one aspect is, can we bring in that thought process of work as worship? In fact, I keep highlighting, if a person is driving a nice car, living in a nice place, or going for a nice holiday, where does that come from? From the work they're doing. Individually and collectively, we got to improve the attitude of a person. At work, what is the attitude they bring into the work? It is individually. If they are, the kids are studying in good schools, he or she is able to take care of the family. All that, it comes from the work he is doing. So what should be the attitude towards work? It should be one of prayer or worship. The employee may not go to a place of worship all the time.
It's very difficult for Gen Z to understand this concept. Yeah, maybe you need to elaborate a little bit more on.
See, all that I'm saying is an attitude you bring to work. It's the main thing. Attitude you bring. Yeah. What is an attitude? Without changing anything externally, with a slight change in the way you think, you feel, and function, everything about your life changes. You're not changing it without changing anything externally. With the way you think, feel, and function, everything about your life changes. Attitude, number one. See, when I say, I'm not talking about that awareness that this standard of living is possible because of the work I'm doing. They may also contribute at work, but this work has given me that avenue. This is where the mind and intellect comes into play. It's a training. It's a process whereby moving from selfishness to unselfishness. It is there. So I think
that could be the most selfish act one can do to becoming Unselfish.
Correct.
Yes.
In fact, that's the
That's
most.
when the most, I have seen this transformation with myself. The moment I took out myself of the equation, of the equation, and just focus on what is the right thing to do for this team to be successful, for this project to be successful, then I've got amazing results.
Correct. You're the example.
Yeah. I tell my team also that, look, please keep yourself at home and come to do a particular role.
Right.
It's not you. It is the role that should tell you what to do in that day-to-day life. It worked wonders for me.
I'm glad. And that's the reason it helped you to reach.
When you say attitude, probably that's what it means.
Yes. That attitude.
And I've got the best results. And that's the most selfish thing I've done, is what I meant. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
See, that's your attitude has brought in the results. And similarly, if the senior guys in your senior management or everyone from the bottom, because he or she has a potential to reach the top.
Yeah.
And one is this attitude. What is the attitude you're bringing into work? Individually and collectively. Collectively, everyone is a part of a team. In a collective attitude. It is sometimes one person is down. You are able to enhance your productivity. This is where the unselfishness works.
Yeah.
The unselfishness that's why I agree. The most selfish thing for a person is to move from selfishness to unselfishness. And as a result, one is there is energy, and then much more, you're less agitated, and then the attitude is right. The second aspect is, I'm only talking about the internal framework here. Second aspect, how well we deal with our own ego. And I find, and there are various studies which has highlighted, they say 7 out of 10 who quit organizations, they don't quit organizations, they quit people. Absolutely. People quit people.
Yes.
It is too strong.
I see that. Yeah, every day. Yeah.
They say too strong egos, it's very difficult to deal with. And it is others' ego, I don't have a control. I may have a control over my own ego. It is, ego will function in two ways. Superiority complex or an inferiority complex. With certain people you feel superior, with certain people you feel inferior. And both makes you suffer.
Yes.
At least superiority complex is okay. You want to prove a little more. That's fine. Inferiority complex, I am nobody in this organization. Nobody cares. It is dangerous thought process, inferiority complex, at work or in personal life. So at work, the ego management is so essential. And I have addressed your team many a times. You have a great team. We keep highlighting EGO, exaggerated glorification of oneself. EGO, exaggerated.
That's amazing definition of ego. Yeah,
exaggerated glorification of oneself. Everything is exaggerated and glorified. If only you have a boss like me, you will not talk like this. If only you are exposed to a project like this, you will not talk like. Everything is exaggerated and glorified. Yes. Suffering is glorified. Achievements is glorified. So, first is. It is difficult, but first they have to become aware.
I remember many of the workshops you did for our management team, and many of them talk about it still. And the most miraculous event that people talk about is one of our very senior person who used to smoke and drink comes to your lecture. Maybe he was in your lecture maybe once or twice. Quits it for life. Right. It's now about, I think, 10 years that he forgot what it is, right? Smoking, drinking, and eating meat also he forgot. Yes. And a different person altogether. And he still says, just one lecture changed my whole life.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. And many changes have many people reported to me that, that they spend time with you as well, over calls and, personal dialogue. I think it really, really helped.
It helped
shape the management team. Correct. That reminds me to do it more often. I know you went to Dubai to spread the message in the Middle East, but I think we should be doing a lot
absolutely.
more.
You have a wonderful team, and I've seen. One other aspect is your core team predominantly stuck with you. Which
not
means
stuck with me.
When I say stuck with you,
Absolutely. When recently one senior management team from another partner company comes, I mean, a European company, full about 10, 12 executives, top executives come and spend a couple of days with us. And they were like surprised. How did this happen? How does everyone is so motivated, so passionate? I'm talking about leaders. I'm talking about not just young people. This is the top leadership, right? When they talk about it, it comes from them, right? And so they spend half a day apparently with our HR and the leadership individually, and understanding, what made this energy, what
Wonderful.
made this passion in the people.
Wonderful.
And they also asked me, I said, probably, I don't know the real reasons. They are discovering still. Yeah. And people used to say that, look, I mean, I never followed typical HR policies of the HR world. So I did what I felt was right.
From the heart.
From the heart, and what is right for the people, and what is right for the organization. And it seems to be working.
Yeah, it's working miraculously.
And you met most of them.
Yeah.
Probably,
See, a few aspects which I can highlight from my observation. One is the top guys have initiative.
Yep.
They're not working for incentives alone.
No.
There is a lot of initiative. Yep. It is an example, Brahma Reddy or so many other. I mean, I've met, all of them have that initiative, which comes from within. This creates something called belonging, oneness with an organization.
Yes.
Oneness with an organization. Therefore, the tough times, good times, they are there for each other or for the organization. Initiative, the belongingness that creates that oneness with an organization. Like an example was a gratitude wall. And I said the first time I've seen an organization, maybe I've seen in some Japanese organization, they have separate rooms where boxing bags are there. They go and some of them, the what do you call, the senior guy's name or photograph and all is there.
You go punch them. I think my team will be very happy to punch me, I guess.
I don't think so. See,
on a temporary basis, definitely there are many movements, I'm sure. Yeah.
It is, and the top management doesn't want to go there at all. They may feel very disappointed. Yeah. So it is that sense of belongingness, and which creates a oneness with an organization.
So what do leaders can do to
see? It is one is the leaders. Their mind and intellect has to be worked upon well. They are leaders. Leadership is not just a position but a responsibility. And success of a leader of an organization should make them far more responsible, not egoistic. And leaders by design must be unselfish, can't be selfish. Selfishness in certain aspects is okay. Course, yeah. I mean, they want their product to be the best or what, that's okay. By design, they have to think collectively, a leader. So a leader must work on themselves. When I say work on themselves, are they improving as an individual? Leadership is one role they have, but they have many other roles in life. He or she is a partner, is a parent, is a son or a daughter, is a friend. So many other roles are there. And the role of a seeker of self-management, all that should be, if success is not just in one role, they should understand that. Leadership is one role. That potential to switch off when they go off from work, to switch off from this role and switch on to a role of a parent or a spouse should be there. If the leaders function on duties and responsibilities rather than rights, this is my duty to my organization, to my employees, to my clients. These are my duties. It looks like an old age idea. Duty. What is my duty towards my clients? What is my duty towards my country? Then you may pay your taxes properly. You may have a tax planner and plan everything. What is my duty to my clients? It is you're not just managing it. These are my duties and obligations towards my clients, to my employees. So leaders should think in those ways. And when the more they use their intellect, which is the faculty thinking in clearer terms, critical thinking, that helps. All leaders have intelligence.
Yeah.
Intelligence
Of course,
is in the
intelligence
is there.
Technical knowledge.
Yes, all that is there.
All that is there. That's why they become the leader. Yeah.
But how are you managing your emotions?
Yeah.
How
are you managing your people?
People.
Yeah.
How you manage your emotions?
Are you treating them the same way as you want to be treated?
Correct. Are you managing your emotions or your emotions managing you? Are you able to deal with your anger, or is the anger dealing with you?
Dealing with you.
It's easy to become angry, but it takes a lot of leadership qualities to deal with anger.
Absolutely.
My guru used to say, use your anger, never lose your anger.
Never lose your anger. Interesting.
Losing anger is small things can do. Losing anger, we lose our respect as well.
Of course.
Or there are sometimes they'll ask, how's the boss? Is he? What's the mood? Don't even go near him. He's like a lion today.
I don't think we are still in those days. This time, if there is a lion, okay, I'm going to another den. Yes. Yeah. Those days are over.
How well you deal with your emotions.
Yeah.
It is. There's a statement: speak when you're angry. You'll make the greatest speech you'll ever regret. So
very good saying. I remember this. Yes.
So as a leader, understand it's a position. It's a responsibility. It's more a responsibility than a position. And as a leader, you have to have self-esteem rather than self-importance. Self-esteem is where the initiative. Yeah. Self-importance is the ego. The ego doesn't help. A third is, are you able to manage your emotions? There must be genuine emotion, as you mentioned, gratitude, compassion. There must be compassion. Compassion is a great quality.
Yeah.
It's much higher than sympathy and empathy.
Yes.
And the fourth one I would say is, as leaders, they should be able to practice forgiveness. It looks like it is
practice forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
Is this the leaders who are firing the most? Seems to be recognized by the Wall Street.
Forgiveness. Sorry.
No. The contrary.
Contrary. That's right.
When I say the investor community seems to be rewarding the CEOs who are firing the most. Yeah.
See,
but
when I say forgiveness, it is. It's like it looks like.
What do you mean by that?
When I say forgiveness. A person who's not able to forgive others and themselves, they carry the hatred within.
Okay.
As a leader,
what happens as a result?
Any kind of a hatred destroys an individual. It diminishes our pure qualities, pure Absolutely. Emotions.
Absolutely.
It is forgiveness. Forgiving others is difficult. Forgiving yourself is far more difficult. At times, I have made a wrong choice, and I beat myself with that negative choice.
Instead of just learning and moving
on. That was my maturity at that point of time. Now I've improved. Yeah. This is when I say forgiveness in certain aspects, as a leader, Absolutely. If you're not able to forgive others,
then
you're going to develop hatred.
Then you are the same.
Same.
Yeah.
And then as a leader, being a constant learner.
Yeah.
It's a position, but are you learning constantly?
I see many leaders learning from their job, technical, but the other aspects.
Correct. That's
of grooming one
Correct.
as a more evolved leader. I think that's where.
Yes, the real learning comes from, they have the product knowledge, they have the managerial skills, and they are, when it comes to work, they are focusing on. But in other roles of life, they may take it for granted.
Yeah.
Of late, there is an emphasis on physical health, but on mental health, what is the quality of relationships with your spouse, with your children, with your parents, with near and dear? I'm not saying it should be great, but it should not disturb you.
Yeah.
They should not be, they are aware, but not many. Any lacuna there will affect the productivity here.
Absolutely.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually. If it doesn't seem to affect, it will affect the health in some way.
Yeah.
They say that even anger is like pouring acid in a vessel, and the vessel which contains the acid get destroyed. It's like that.
Amazing.
So therefore, all leaders.
So think of acid when you get angry.
Correct.
Yeah.
All these things doesn't help. A joyful work, reasonable physical health, a fit body, a home full of love and affection. You can't buy it. You have to earn it.
Absolutely.
We have to earn it. We need holistic leaders. They're very productive in their work, but they're equally happy in other aspects of life. So when you have all that, then what you say, you will sleep well. Eventually, it looks, what I'm talking now looks like philosophical, but whatever you earned, you got to leave it here and go. And giving should happen in your time.
Yeah.
It is.
This takes me to Bill Gates. This morning I wrote a small article for LinkedIn and about him, right? Yeah, that he's proving to the world. He says, I have $200 billion in the foundation now. I'm going to spend it in the next 20 years, make it to zero. Right? Yes. I mean, because he can't take it anyway.
Correct.
Right? I mean, that's amazing. I think it's setting a new example in the philanthropy. Yeah.
It is. That's why it is. You have created a lot of effort in creating wealth, and much more mental, I would say, maturity in sharing it for the right ways, and as a result, so many people get benefited.
Yeah.
The mind impressions for the corporates. See, one aspect is have emotions, but don't become emotional. Have the best of emotions, but don't become emotional.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Becoming emotional, you lose your peace of mind, and you lose the respect from others, and your decision-making potential diminishes.
Absolutely. I see some people blame me that, you don't have any emotions at all. I said, why? I said, because you don't show it. Yeah. I said, if you show it, then probably I'm not the right, kind of a leader, or
Correct.
I will lose objectivity the moment I become emotional, as you said, right? Perfect, yeah.
From the lower, a new entrant to the most senior person, have the best of emotions, purest of emotions, but don't become emotional. Number two is understand that when you're emotional, the choices become wrong, faulty.
Absolutely.
And therefore, you've got to be careful. Third, dealing with egos is the most important relationship skill one can master. So, it is eventually, relationship management is ego management.
Yeah.
And ego management is managing your thoughts using your intellect. It is ego. Ego is an exaggerated glorification of oneself, or the need and necessity to prove that you're better than others all the time. So you got to manage the ego. So one of the ways of dealing with it, the mind impression, is deal with your insecurities in a better way. The more insecure you are, the greater is a victim of you becoming egoistic. The more insecurity creates fear. Fear creates other negative aspects, and it strengthens your ego. The
insecurity reminds me of, I see even the most accomplished leaders sometimes get insecure. The moment they see another,
Right.
C-level or another president comes on board, even the most accomplished,
Right.
And most invaluable resource of the company, but still he gets insecure. How does one work around that?
See, the insecurity comes in when you are a victim of your own selfishness. What will happen to my position?
But what people should think about it.
It is, they have to understand another person is brought in because of a certain skill set was required. And that, I am good in my ways, but for organization to grow to the next level, we need a certain support system.
So that ignorance in one makes him feel that something from him is being taken away rather than being that something being added to the company.
Correct. Okay. Which is eventually going to help his productivity.
Yeah.
That day,
which will lead to his success.
His also. Success, and it's going to eventually help him go in a better way. Yeah. I keep telling all the corporates now, you have become what you have become because of you. You are not becoming what you can become because of you. I repeat, you have become what you have become because of you. All the qualities. You are not becoming what you can become again because of you. You were the greatest strength and you are the biggest stumbling block for yourself and the organization.
Absolutely.
So, it is...
most of the times I see people themselves are blocking them. Why they are insecure to hire highly competent people. They are insecure when someone else
comes in.
And the moment they are insecure about highly competent people reporting to them, their organization will never grow. Their part of that unit will never grow.
Correct.
As a result, they are stuck while all others who built leaders under them are keep growing.
Correct.
I've seen this happen to the best of the people, actually. Some of
them. This is where they got to be careful. If when with this insecurity, they are not growing and they are trying to keep others down below them. They don't allow others to grow.
Yeah.
And this is where they are stunting their growth. How long can you stop others' growth? They will eventually grow. Some other organization is going to find them and pull them up. So this is where the mind and intellect comes in. The intellect comes in. Look here, I need to improve myself. And these aspects are, these potential is given for me so that I can grow. This is where from selfishness to unselfishness comes in. The more selfish I am, the more insecure I am. The more unselfish you are, greater is your potential. It's like a person going for their own favor and a team leader going for the needs of the team.
Absolutely.
He or she is not going for himself. They're going for the needs for the team. There is no fear. There is no insecurity. But a person going for their own personal favors.
That's when the problem.
That's when their selfishness creates the fear, insecurity. When you're unselfish, that doesn't happen. Therefore, when a person thinks for the organization, the insecurity will be less. It's going to eventually grow. And sometimes they have to be taught this one. It is look here. It is done for your benefit. At times, it has to be communicated. Otherwise, I'm sure the communication goes through, but still there is a sense of an insecurity.
Absolutely.
So the moment their intellect is strong enough, this will not happen. This insecurity will not happen. When the mind by design becomes insecure, that's the mind.
Absolutely.
Anybody's mind. So the more and more a person functions on the mind, the possibilities of insecurity is far more. The moment they bring in the intellect, I have this leader in my organization who's going to take it to what brought you here cannot get you there. There's a statement. So if you are at a 1 billion, if you want to get a 10 billion, you need a completely different ways of thinking and functioning. This is where, that's why they have to be constantly educated in certain ways.
So this reminds me of very important. Close friends who know me for many years say, you are a changed man almost every year. And they see me learning, apparently.
Correct.
And I'm changing every big transformations. And we've done the big transformations in the companies also that we've been in. We've been, over the last 15, 20 years, there were many disruptions. Or we disrupted ourselves sometimes. Because we know that if you don't disrupt today and get used to the new way of living, when it actually hits, then you're out of market anyway. So why don't we do it 2 years before? So we get there, and so that's when we have changed ourselves in the cloud market when the cloud came in from a hosting kind of a business to when the hyperscalers came in. Suddenly data centers no longer were 1 to 10 megawatt kind of buildings. These are now talking about 100 to 500 megawatt campuses. Right, big disruption, and we've handled it. But every time this transformation is happening, I am seeing enormous resistance. Now people are used to it. Now transformation in our group companies is a constant. Change is constant. Yeah, but I've seen organizations suffer when they are faced with these kind of challenges. And are there any simple way to put it the way you said, right?
I wish there are simple ways. One is you're able to anticipate changes or the growth, and you're able to adapt to it. Adaptability and constantly enhancing your goals. It is if this is what consciously or unconsciously you've been practicing. Adaptability, as you mentioned, from 5 megawatts to 200 megawatt, and then it is adaptable, and then your goals are constantly growing. It's not self-centered goals. It is. I can give you various examples. It is Nokia was a great company, over 50% market share in handsets. Where is it now? I mean, it is they couldn't adapt. Their goals didn't grow, and as a result, in spite of such a market share and such a potential, they almost wiped out, I guess. I'm sorry to say. It's a sad example.
They're a different company now.
There's a different
business, they were the global leader, which is gone.
Correct. In that, now it could be a different company, but that aspect, they took it for granted. They didn't adapt. Their goals didn't grow.
They didn't adapt.
Therefore, they almost are not non-existent in that aspect. In organizations, adaptability, constantly increasing the goals. It is not like an obsession. I've got you got to the next level, and you keep doing it. You'll always find the mind gets refreshed, fresh ideas come in, and you are there in the business in a very productive way. In life, in organizations, or in our life, if you are not growing, it simply means our goals are not growing. We are not able to adapt to the situations. If I didn't adapt to online lectures during the COVID, I mean, it would have been very difficult. Absolutely. So it is adaptability, constantly enhancing our goals, organization-wise or country-wise, organization-wise, individually. That's what makes it grow. You find, you travel to various countries, you'll find some of the countries have stagnated. Some of the countries are constantly progressing. Why is it? The goals of those leaders are progressing, and they're able to adapt to new technologies. And an example is the state you come from, Telangana. It has grown immensely. From when I see that, so fascinating. So that's aspect. See, it boils down to a strong intellect. A strong intellect, whereby it is able to anticipate certain aspects in work, in business, in the markets, and then you are able to project certain ideas, adapt to it, and then your goals. Both ways you keep enhancing. Sky's the limit. Which I've been observing your organization from the initial stages till now. I have seen two aspects. Your organization has grown, and individually you have grown. It is from a clean shaven to a nice saintly beard, and this smile and laughter and long hairs. So, and Aham Brahmasmi in your shirt. Which founder and CEO wears Aham Brahmasmi? It shows I am that indivisible Brahman. I mean, when I saw that you were wearing it, I said, wear that to office as well. So, I mean, it is both ways you're growing. This is what every leader should do. Work-wise, they are growing. Individually, they are growing. And as a result, life will be beautiful. Life will be beautiful. I mean, when I say beautiful, there are challenges. There are difficulties. But when you hit the pillow, you're able to sleep well. Core relationships are going right. there is gratitude, there's contribution, there is calmness. So a leader, when you are associating with a leader like that, or the people who work under leaders like that, I'm telling you, even if they move out to another organization, they say, working with that, the leader was so different. I learned a lot.
I get that.
I know. I learned a lot.
I do get that.
And the respect or the...
I suffered, but I learned a lot. I don't think they suffered, but yeah.
They may see, in retrospect, they say I'm not a statistical entity like that in the present organization. I was a person who was valued. They understood I have emotions. So, leaders, please, in an organization ways, you should grow. Adaptability, consistent and escalation of your goals. And individually, you're working on yourself. Purity of emotions, clarity in thinking, dexterity in action, the thought of compassion and charity, all put together, all it goes. Then what happens? Your life is a blessing to you and all that associated with it.
Absolutely.
And as a leader, you'll be leaving a legacy. See, when I say legacy is something which benefits you now and benefits many others in the future. I'm not just talking about money here. Legacy. It is as leaders have the potential to leave a legacy.
Yeah.
If anything you do now only benefits you and doesn't benefit anyone else, what legacy it is? I just indulged in it.
Absolutely.
But you do something now which benefits you. And in the future, even after your time, it benefits much larger people. You talk about Bill Gates. I'm not talking about money. Many other aspects. You can groom so many other leaders.
Yeah.
Not just in corporate ways. I heard that your son has a startup. I think he's slightly more faster than you now. It is so. See, look at that. The legacy we leave behind. I'm not saying we should leave a legacy, but the way you live your life, by default, you leave a legacy.
Absolutely.
By default, it benefits you now, and it will benefit many others in the future. So, when you work on the organization and yourself, the benefits are far greater. And all that I'm saying is, in the world, we need more holistic wonders. No more one-role wonders. No more one-role wonders where they are very good in one role, all other roles they are messed up. Or I've seen those who are good in one role, they use their success to destroy in every other role they have. So we need holistic wonders. Leaders should do that. If you ask me, it's not just a position, it's a responsibility. Great leaders, you get inspired by them. You get motivated by them. You look up to them. A leader should not be one that others are afraid of. It's like everybody gravitates to them. It's like, each one is leader in their own ways. You could be you're a leader in an organization, you're a leader at home. They look up to you. You are their hero. And in organizations, it is so. That's the potential, and leaders should have that, and let that aspect, the intelligence and the skill set you use, and in simple terms, if you do all this now, we could be sitting in a beautiful place, just closing your eyes, you're able to shut down the world.
Yeah.
There is a calmness. There is a calmness, and I'm telling you, many leaders, I am not seeing them aging well. We are all going to age.
Of course. Yeah.
70. How many of them? They are. If leaders define their life with just one role, they'll be miserable when they come out of it. They don't know anything about apart from that role.
Very well said. Very interesting point you brought up. It is not just a professional success, but how you keep your health, how you family, relationships, and friends.
Yes.
I think all of these have to be in equal proportions.
In sync.
And then only one can age well, as you said.
See, I've known people, they have defined their life with one role. The person is the chairman of a bank. And when he was the chairman of the bank, he's going for a walk, 20 fellows with him. I really said, so nice to see you, sir. Oh, lovely. He retired. His dog also is not able to walk with him. I'm just saying how the ego hit they have. They've defined their life with one role alone.
Yeah.
That they can't even share that. Look here, I feel lonely. I mean, I don't feel valued.
Yeah.
All that it's saying is when you holistically, individually worked on, work-wise you're worked on, then what happens? The effort and the glory is to the position you have.
Yes.
But the effort is to the person.
Correct.
The glory is to the position. When you're given up that, and then because the other roles are well looked into. And all that I'm saying is, let's not take it for granted, other roles. If you need to be a holistic wonder. You cannot be successful in other places and be a failure in others. You're still a failure. So don't take any role for granted. Whatever your duties and obligations are, pretend to each role, fulfill it to your best. Have this gratitude. This is a great opportunity. Have this. I'm sure we spoke about it. That gratitude is the mother of all virtues.
Yeah.
And there are various roles there. So watch out. It's essential that we do it. Eventually, happiness is the goal. And there's a saying, there's a statement, right? It is difficult to find happiness within oneself, but impossible to find it anywhere else.
Absolutely. I think we should do that one more day. Yeah.
Yes. So think about it. I'm sure people will get benefit. And thank you, Sreedharan Garu. It's a pleasure and an honor and a privilege. Genuinely.
Likewise. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thoroughly enjoyed the session, and I look forward to doing more.
Welcome to Mind Intellect Conversations. Today's conversation is one